Good evening, Truth Serum Nation. Good evening, Truth Serum Nation. Uh, it's your boy Joseph, the Truth Serum. Get a coffee, a water. Come hang out with me. Um, we have a real big show. Let's see. It's a nice summer night. I hope everybody's having a good summer. Red Hot Chili Peppers are playing down the street. I used to like them years ago, but at Six Flags Nation. But they're gonna play their new songs. They're no, they're they're old material I like better. So let's come on in. Let me get my smoke. Where's my smokes? Let's get set up. We're gonna go as long as you want to go. When I got somebody in here, we got to get some people in here first. All right, that's how we got to do it. Hang on in there. What did I do? What did I do? Get my fucking smokes? Yeah, really, Joe? Really? Really? What a fucking knucklehead I am. What? How stupid could a guy be? How stupid could I be? That's all I want to know. How stupid could I be? Cigarettes, and then, well, I do have brain damage. I do have a brain injury. The way I smoke, and then it's like, yeah. Hey, Sir Drums. Oh, okay, I'll check that out. Mr. Drums. I thought somebody was being sarcastic in my other on my comments on my page, and they're like, "Try cleaning your lens off, you knucklehead." So it does look a little clearer. So thank you for getting aggravated at me because it does look like it is clear. I don't think I've ever cleaned that lens off. So yeah, it must have been freaking the kid out, man. Hey, geez, the guy don't understand my technical stuff and everything else is was all crazy. Oh, in my comments, I got replies. Gene, well, when I started my channel way back, no subs, just bouncing along here and there, pumping videos out, Sir Drums, pumping, and uh, RJ Roger, excuse me, no editing here. RJ Roger, Mike D. Leonardo, and John A. Light, and Gene Borrello. I once in a while, well, John A. Light had uh, comments that messaged me, and of course, you just think they're under different names. There's so many hacks out there. There's so much bull crap going on out there that you don't know what the hell to believe. But he did. Let's use this for a while. He did say, "Hey, whatever you got, 100 subscribers, 60 subscribers." He said, "Keep going, blah blah blah." Whatever it was in good faith. RJ Roger and Mike D, they did the same thing, and I was like, I'm just a little. They got productions and everything, and I got a dirty camera lens, and my Wi-Fi skips and my connection. So that was cool that they did that. And John A. Light was with doing a show with Gene Borrello, and John A. Light said, they'd always be together. And Gene said, yeah. He said, oh, I want to give a shout out to the Truth Serum, blah 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 blah, and everything else. I was like, well, that's really him, because in the messages you don't know. There's so many punk ass little bitches out there that try to set up fake profile pages, and they're just, I don't know, like Doughboy. I mean, he's got a page, but so that was nice of him. And like people like Gene Borrello, people hate him, and he's whatever people want him to be, but he gets people's attention. And get rid of that. And I knew a few guys like that. It's easier to hate them, you know. It's easier to hate them. But I seen people like that, treacherous, and sometimes they do have this side of them that will balance them out. But you know, uh, like when Doughboy was interviewing him the other night, and then that interview went bad. Uh, See, Doughboy knows that he's going to get a lot of views and he's going to get a lot of donations from that name, Gene Borrello. It's marquee. It's like putting up Al Capone as far as numbers are concerned. Holy mackerel! I'm guilty as charged. Once in a while, I'll get 500 views, or when other things, you know. I'm a 100 view man, a 200 view man with my analytics. But you put Gene Borrello in there, boom, 500, 600, 700. So Doughboy did that interview with him, and it went bad. The interview went bad because Jeff was doing his little stupid shit and thinks he's cute and plays all that little kindergarten game stuff. What this YouTube and MobTube has done, like for the perception of things, like you could have guys like that bum they do and them guys. It ain't back in the day. Back in the day, I don't promote any craziness or anything, but that bum better just be glad things are the way they are these days, because you know, he interviews the people that cooperated, you know, and if they're at the end of their line, but he has an attitude and he plays these stupid silly games, and if he was ever around a gangster in person like that, he would get smashed. Why? What did you say? Why? What did you do? What the heck? So Gene Borrello, he's been on there, and they get the ratings. Doughboy, I believe, pays them, and then you know, and they interact, and maybe some of it is staged or not, but it's not just like Sammy the Bull Gravano. It's not staged anymore. They had enough of this punk, this straight ass Amish, whatever the hell he is, Mama Mongoloid punk that gets up there and he's a Google Meister that piggybacks the history of the mob, tells stories about this or that. He doesn't have any original history of his he doesn't have any fun experiences of himself that are interesting or entertaining. It's all, yeah, back in 1982, Jimmy Jackhammer visited this, you know, and he's trying to Google stuff of the history of the mafia. He's a Mameluke, and he doesn't realize the true flavor of the mob, and when he's interviewing ex-mafia rats. And then when Gene, who's from different DNA, who symbolizes some of that craziness, and he'll go along with him historically, like a soap opera between Gene Borrello. Sorry, Gene, but you know that's the truth. And Doughboy, you know it. But how much can you take, Gene? How much can you take? You sit there with that Mama Luke for what? $500 or $1,000? You for what? What do you sit there with that? He's a disgrace. Deep inside, he hates the mafia. He hates Italians. You got all these other projects going on. Your pockets should be full. You know, they should be full. Silverware. Gene is a scrub. mean age, our dads and husbands. I don't understand this, Gene. You know, they want to play the sensationalism. You know, there's two sides of the, well, there's different perspectives you can look at. Play it up. It's good mob theater. The numbers are coming. The donations are coming. That's nice, nice, nice. But if you were a true blue gangster and a tough renegade guy, why would you show yourself with a straight up Mama Luke like him? You know, thank you, Silver Wealth Draper Mint. Thank you. Yep. I washed my hair, that's why. No. But it just, you know, there's hustles and everything, but gangsters have some scruples. I mean, you know, hustle here, do this or that. How much can Gene, how much could you be making from this bum? And then you play that charade, and then he insults you like that, Gene. He insults you like that. For what? 1,000? What if you guys were in the streets? I don't understand. I don't understand. But Gene gets the views. He gets the views, and people like him. People like to hate somebody, you know. But I don't understand why Gene. How much can this guy be paying him? Now, I'm not trying to. John A. Light and Gene Borrello, they brung my show up. The first shout out I ever got. The first shout out, he gave me a couple comments on my home thing, and I just thought, oh, they were imposters, blah, blah, blah. They're just, you know, some punk ass bitches sending out fake messages under different channel names, because you get everything on YouTube and social media. You get little you get Fruity Loops on there that don't, you know. So they were saying, I was like, oh, but then when he got on there, so Gene was cool. He said, yay, he was a runaround guy talking about me, run around with them guys, blah, 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 blah. So that was in good faith. And he said, check out the truth serum, blah, 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 blah. It wasn't that long. I'm making it out to be a big thing, but that was class. That was class. He didn't have to. He didn't know me from, maybe he might have knew some of the old people in New York, but he didn't know me, and he gave me a shout out. So Gene was nice enough was nice enough to do that. You know, I might have got 5 new subscribers that month. So, well, but I don't understand. These guys have enough stories. Sammy the Bull Gravano has enough money. Now he just cut ties with Doughboy. Why? The guy, you're supposed to know how to read people. Gene and Sammy, you've been around where you can read people. You can read people like a forensic freaking psychologist. You know he's a bum. What do you need, the money? You'd shame if you went to a clubhouse in the old days. Sorry, Gene, I'm sorry. If you did some kind of interview or something like that with that Doughboy Jeff, and then you went back to a club, them guys would laugh and they'd be hollering and laughing at you. They'd be telling you, "What are you, nuts? What did you make? 500 for the interview?" I'm sorry, Gene. I'm sorry. The old school boys. They'd have said, "What are you doing over there with that Amish Mama Luke? Wannabe, gangster wannabe and all that. What are you doing over there with him? What did he give you, 500? And then you got to put up with his bull crap and his crafty insults. Well, why? No, I didn't say it. Oh, why is he hollering? You got to play all them games, Gene. Them guys in the club would be screaming, and some of them would be laughing. They'd say, "Look at Genie Boy. He sold his soul for 500 to go on a show with some mongoloid mob hater, Siciliano hater, Italian hater. For what? This?" Even Sammy the Bull Gravano, that nitwit, What are you showing your face? You ain't got enough money, Sammy the Bull Gravano? You don't see on this YouTube, mob talking all this bullshit on social media. Now, it's not the mob. That ain't the mob, folks. Sorry. That ain't the mob. That's not the mob. That's the furthest thing. Even Mike Francis and all his bullshit. That ain't the mob. He was an accountant that freaking got into something. He ain't the mob. Sammy the Bull Gravano, he did what he did. The rest of it is a joke. The rest of the mob talk is a joke because it's a new era and it's a social media and you guys are only getting your information from limited resources. So everybody that watches thinks, oh, Mike Francis said this. That's gospel. Gene Borrello said this. That's gospel. The Google boy, Jeff said this. That's gospel. Google, because he Googled it and somebody said something in the Google stratosphere. That's gossip. You ain't even getting 5% of what the mafia was. No, they can't epitomize it. They can't capture what it was. It's theater. It's just a rodeo. It's a rodeo. And then they do these mock interviews and they try to set things up. Then they go Harry Carey. But the real gangsters wouldn't be talking to a Mama Luke like Jeff. They wouldn't be talking to him. For what? And they're not smart enough to see he's trying to do these implied insults and he's getting in there. Then he gets cute and it's like, look at fans, I can insult Gene Borrello. I'm a tough guy. Look at my fans, I can insult Sammy the Bull Gravano, two of the most dangerous men in the mob world. Yes, tune on in, send me some money. Look, I just insulted Gene Borrello and Sammy the Bull. That's what? So that's the game they're playing. That's the soap opera game they're playing. That's all. You don't have to be a forensic psychologist to see that. A 6-year-old could see it. Then when they come back, he goes, "Oh, I gotta take him off the live stream. Oh, geez, why did he say that? Like a little bitch. Oh, geez, why did he say that? Oh, dear, what am I gonna do? Oh, God, my mongoloid's gonna explode. Oh, God, why did he say? Well, let me put him back on. Let's see if I could get him back on. Oh, yeah, Gene, why'd you say that? Well, you no good. Bah, 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 bah. Then he cuts him off. Gene Borrello, if you ever go back on that show, I'll start agreeing to what other people I'll start agreeing what other people think about you. I'm sorry. If you need to hustle and you're broke and he's going to give you 1,000 or something to go, well, I understand. Number one, I don't know if you're broke or you got money. And then that becomes a big part that you'll let him bitch you, you'll let him insult you. So if you're broke enough, then you let that doughboy insult you. So is that how it works? I thought you had Netflix going. I thought you had a thing with VLOD going. What is it? What is it? I'm not saying he's not a dangerous guy, ladies and gentlemen, but what's really going on here? To show and put up, you let a bum like that insult you and play games with you. You're on the live stream. You're off the live stream. For what? 1,000? What's he giving you? 500? I don't know. You said you were wearing $40,000 necklace and a $30,000 watch. What are you doing? What are you doing on there, Gene? What are you doing? How legit are you? I don't know. Back in my era, that wouldn't fly. I'm 21. I'm 20 years old. That wouldn't fly. That wouldn't fly. If you got other hustles going on and everything else, what do you need that money from that Jeff for? What do you need money from him for? And play pity patty games with him. Because if you were, you wouldn't let him insult you like that. You know what I mean? If you were, old school guys wouldn't go on there and have a guy do this little two-step boogie, and then he's insulting you. And what about this? And what about that? And you just sit there because you got paid. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Maybe John should talk to you. Forgive me, John. Forgive me. Forgive me. But not that I have anything against Gene, but it's bullshit. The New York Jets says the Gene is a poser he always been. He was Ronnie One Arm's muscle for maybe 2 years. He might be dangerous, but he's zero with shoes. I don't understand because his hustle is simple. Convince YouTubers he has big deals so he can get paid. Yeah. Hey, Mr. Michael Condinas. Yeah. I'm starting to agree, Mr. Jets. Elias Barnes, how you doing? Michael Condinas. So this Gene Borrello that gets views, because he's a curious guy. People do love madmen. They do love madmen. But I knew some in my day that were older than me, but later on, I don't promote violence or anything like that, but I got intimidated by a couple and I went to Attica to visit. Now they're older. Don't get it. So they think it's still 1985. They're 74. I'm 61 and they think it's the old days and not a made guy, a soldier, but not a made guy. And this ain't that. I'll knock you out, Tommy, A. I'll knock you out. This ain't the old days. I'll knock you out, old man. So you get that kind of stuff. But he was a hothead like Gene. His prison date said 1974. But I don't understand what it is with this guy. He must be broke. Now, if you're not, Gene, I apologize. This is social media, so you could get aggy with me because I know you and John watch. I know you watch, and I know whose name it's under too. So that's all right. But just tell your old stories. You just need that drama. Just tell stories. Where's John? How come he's not doing that? The John and Gene show. John's out vacation, and John don't want to know nothing. John A. More of a mobster. He's Albanian. John A. John A. in my book is all right. He's all right. If I was in a foxhole in battle in the mob world, not counting my godfather, I'd want my godfather in the foxhole because he was good with weapons. But I'd want John A. in my thinker. And then people trash John A. Oh, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. So the numbers aren't adding up. Listen, if a guy has 7 bodies and it's not 25 bodies, it doesn't diminish his aptitude for violence. Well, truth to him, he don't have 32 bodies. He's only got 7 bodies. Oh, all right. That's okay. Yeah, well, yeah, you got me there, Bill. Yeah, he's going to be the altar boy at the church service next week. My bad. He's only got 7 bodies. So that diminishes the treachery. Danger. The DNA embedded danger. I don't know, man. People are nuts. So, and Doughboy was telling Gene Boy he don't have any bodies. Okay? That's what happened on the show. Doughboy's telling Gene, and now in Gene Borrello's defense, there could have been drunken nights down there in the city where things happened and nobody got caught. Just because it's not a documented body, Doughboy, because you couldn't Google it, Doughboy, doesn't mean that Gene. I'm not trying to say he's got, I'm just saying the possibility is there that hotheads like that, they go to clubs, they get in arguments, they go around the back door, they could smash somebody down. It ain't documented. That's just not documented. So Doughboy's telling him, oh, the guy the two bodies was a guy you fought in prison, and then the guy fell or had complications, and then something else was in a car or something, not a like traditional hit or whatever. I don't know. So Doughboy's trying to diminish the bad tough guy persona of Gene Borrello. So would you folks still believe that just because maybe he doesn't have the bodies he says he does, that he ain't dangerous like that? He might be a lot of things, but I wouldn't put that type of violence beyond him. I wouldn't put that, so Doughboy's trying to diminish it, but he did time. Gene did time. He ain't gonna just say, "Oh, Doughboy, yeah, you said I only got two bodies, and one was they were two flukes." Well, you think Gene's gonna say, "Oh, well, you don't remember in 2001, and I did this and that, and then oh yeah, and then there was another one when we got out of the bar down in the village, and I said, what do you think? He's just gonna start coming up, even if he did, If it was true, he ain't gonna tell Doughboy, no, I got bodies. Here, let me tell you, so they could come lock me up tomorrow. Gene is Anthony Ruggiano's cousin. Notice he's getting all the same interviews that he's getting. It's all a money grab. Yes. If he saw Joey Merlino or John Gotti on the street, he'd run the other way. Joey Merlino's my man. Mm-hmm. Joey Merlino is the real deal. He is the real deal. That is what's really going on. You think he'd be up there with that bum they doing all that, whatever the hell he's doing for a couple of dollars? I don't know if he ever did an interview with him. Gangsters recognize riffraff and don't participate in it for nothing. They don't sell out. I don't know if Gene's got money or what the hell's going on. I don't know, but I'm older. I'm around a different era of real gangsters, real true blue. Go hit somebody and sleep like a baby, or watch the honeymooners and laugh. But this mob tube and these theaters with you got this hack that wants to be a gangster, the Doughboy, and then he's not legit. Then he's doing something with Gene, and most think Gene's not legit. And then you get that dynamic, and they make money. They just make money. Because if anybody's been around long enough and they're the culture, Italian culture, the mafia culture, if anybody's been around long enough of those people, of that segment of people, they wouldn't even say hello to the guy at all. You let him, you go on his platform, and then you let him insult you and do this or that, and then there's donations. Maybe you're splitting the donations with the Doughboy, and you're making a couple of dollars out of that. Why would you compromise a bum like that riding you? He's right. You let him ride you. You let a bum ride you. For what? You wouldn't see Joey Merlino doing that. I don't think Joey Merlino could even make it through the introduction of that guy's channel. Yeah, and if you've been under a rock and you just haven't subscribed yet, if you haven't, got a gravitational pull from that monk, if you have been under a rock and Joey Merlino would turn it right off. Hey, Snuff, turn this thing off the computer. But Gene's been riding this wave, and I don't know. Where's John? I really respect John A. Like, John, thank you for the shout out. Thank you for giving me confidence. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But this is Mob Talk, and we just like to throw things around over here. So we will know if Gene, after what happened, now Gene, after he got kicked off once on that live stream, then Doughboy let him back in. He got kicked off again. Before he got kicked off, he was making personal insults to Doughboy's family members, female family members. I don't want to get graphic like that because, this is Mob 2, but I don't want to disrespect Doughboy like that. I do have some little scruples, and so with all that being said, and then Doughboy kicked him off again. And then he went, oh, why? What happened? Oh, gee, bum, 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 bum. He did all that stupid shit. But we'll all know, folks, not that I promote watching Doughboy, but we'll see if Gene Borrello goes back on Doughboy's channel. We'll see. If he does, then he's a true blue punk. Forgive me, Gene. Forgive me. Forgive me. But that's what the whole mob community, Mob Talk, Mob Tube, that's what they'll all think. That's what they'll all think. It ain't just, there's more than just being some kind of tough guy. And you can hang your head on that. Well, you can criticize me, but I'm a tough guy, and so leave me alone. Well, you could no. The whole mob was full of guys like him. He's nothing special in the mafia. He ain't nothing special. The busboy was as tough. The busboy at the restaurant was as tough as him. The busboy. He's nothing specially. There's a lot of hothead tough guys running around. Ain't nothing special. Like that's an enigma or that's something unique. Yes, some will go further than others, and perpetrating crimes. But just man to man, if you disrespect the busboy, he's going to come out smashing. Whether that busboy, whether it's a made guy, Italians aren't just Italian men aren't just tough men. There's tough, any nationality are just tough guys that don't want to get disrespected. They don't care who the hell you are. They'll come out swinging. I don't know if they'll shoot, but they will fight. They will stick up for their. They'll defend themselves. But I like Gene because psychologically speaking, coffee, psychologically speaking, outside of MobTube, looking at it as a person, breaking things down, those guys are funny, like in their personal lives when you're around, because I knew guys like that, and they're funny. They like to laugh. They like to joke around, but you're just seeing this persona of him for ratings. If you watch a Gene Borrello show and there ain't some controversy, then the show was a failure, Francis. So if there wasn't some drama or some craziness off a YouTube Gene Borrello video, then that video would be a failure. So they got to perpetuate that. But with that being said, versus letting bum hack mongoloids do that to you for $1,000 bill or for $500. So that's what you got. That's what you got. For the money, you let a bum like that. So you make money, Doughboy makes money, and everybody. But you're both going to look like two jokes. it's just looking silly. But there's your ratings and views and money. But will you go back on Doughboy's channel? Will Sammy the Bull go back on? Because Doughboy gets too cute and he thinks, oh, geez, look, I could talk shit to Sammy the Bull Gravano. Look, folks, I'm a tough guy. I could talk shit to Gene Borrello. Yeah, People might say Gene Borrello's a punk, but don't underestimate him in the streets being disrespected. That's all. Especially when it's coming from doughboys. Don't underestimate anybody in them circles. I mean, they could say he's this or that. Well, yeah, I understand all that. It's a punk move to go on Doughboy's show. That's straight up punk move to go on Doughboy's show. The way I look at it. That's not mafia culture. That's not Italian culture. You're going on a show where a freaking guy doesn't like Italians. He's jealous. He's always putting in slants against Italians and all this and that. Then he tries to do it like, oh no, I don't mean this. Bitch move, panty waist moves, and then you're up there with your face on the screen. And he'll probably be back, ladies and gentlemen. He'll probably be back. We'll see. If you're going on VLAD must be a big score. If you're doing Netflix specials, that's got to be a big score. So if you claim to have all these projects, what are you doing going up there with Doughboy for a couple of dollars? This doesn't make sense. I hope somebody that has more knowledge on this stuff of what's going on with the projects that are going on or what, because everything is questionable. But why would you entertain a guy that deep down inside doesn't like you, Gene? That Amish doesn't like Italians, doesn't like the mafia. He's hacking and Googling mafia stories. Well, why would you go on there? On 6 counts, you shouldn't be up there. And especially if you have all these projects coming up. Something don't make sense. Can't get no curveballs by. If anybody knows, just let me know. I don't know. Even Doughboy said he was broke. And he goes, I got a $25,000 chain on. My watch is $15,000. Then what are you doing on there trying to grab $1,000 off the guy if you got $50,000 hanging around your neck? You ain't no gangster. You ain't no gangster with a guy that insults you and also doesn't like Italians and piggybacks Italian stories and then claims all the stories are legit because he Googles them and he thinks all the Google information is true, and he's giving out possibly false history on certain things about your families, Gene, your uncles, and you entertain that. He might have wrong information in reality on some of those actual like you said, Ruggiano and them. And you're rubbing elbows with them for what? $500? Nah, man. Nah. Do your thing, get your views, get your money. But I hope you make $1 million, Gene. I hope you make $1 million. I like them. I'm just wondering what the hell is going on. This is getting. I know it's MobTube's mob soap opera. I know that. But to have some scruples, you got enough million stories to do videos to the end of time. Is that little extra money from Numbnuts worth it? You wouldn't see John A-Light doing it. You wouldn't see Joey Merlino doing it. Mike Francis, he's just in his own category. Sammy the Bull Gravano, he's just in it. But, I don't understand it. How? What is the what's the motivation for that? I don't understand. Maybe Doughboy's right that he don't have an interview with Vlad. Maybe Doughboy is right that he don't have a Netflix whatever or things like that. I don't know. I don't know. I think he'd have some projects. Any movie producer or stuff like that, it's still known he was running around. He's got a lot of stories and information about the mafia. Yes, Gene, that's undisputable. You can't debate that. Nobody can debate that. So that could make some good movie projects. So that'd have to be coming into play. Some good movie projects. I can't see why not. Vlad, he interviews interesting people. That seems plausible. So are they writing the stories? Are they going to write a story production? And I'm sure it's popular. It's like mob lore will never go down. Everybody's interested in mafia stories, so they can package that. They could package that in a good marketing way and do a good Netflix production. I could write it myself. I could write it and do these specials and projects. And he should make a ton of money. He should make a ton of money. Just because he can communicate and he could tell the stories and they could put it together. Yeah, David Monk says he wants the attention. The money is not as important as the attention. He wants to feel important. That's a psychologist right there, David Monk. That's a psychologist, because with all those things I said earlier, trying to figure things out, but he loves the action. That's why he came back on the stream, David Monk. That's why even when he got kicked off the first time, or he left, or he came back. He couldn't take the pressure. He had to get right back in there, and then he got kicked out for good. But he has to be in the mix. He has to be in the mix. I don't want to get into the psychology of that because that's boring, but yeah, that's a good point, David Monk. Good point. So I don't know what his bank account looks like. I'm sure Hollywood could put together with John A. Light. See, John A. Light is the liaison. Let's not forget about John A. Light. Now, John A. Light is the business. I mean, John A. Light would be an integral part of that. And I don't know why Gene, when he's promoting this stuff, is he still on good terms with John A. Light? Because John A. Light is the master thinker about producing that the right way. Making that project as good as it could be. John A. Light you'd have to have an expert in all the families, the way they did things, and you'd have to have a good looking guy like that to make that production. I don't know. John A. Light, he's overseas vacationing. Well, he's having fun. I don't know how many more videos or stuff John A. Light does, but this is MobTube and Mobtalk and everything. People like these guys, people hate these guys, but as far as Jesus goes, John A. Light gives to charity. He gives out free clothes. He gives out free turkeys. He gives out everything to the downtrodden. Joey Merlino gives out free stuff to the downtrodden. The Church of Mike Francis, what's he give? What's he give with his 1 million subscribers? So John A. Light, true blue, and he's charitable for the underdog people coming up, as well as Joey Merlino. Forget about gangsters, just humanitarily speaking, as a human, trying to help your fellow man. Joey Merlino. I respect that more. I respect those. I admire him more for those actions than whatever he did in the mafia. That is what gets me. Oh, well, he did this and that in the mafia. But then you see the guy stands out in the cold for 12 hours on November 12th, giving everything out. It's 10 degrees out. He's standing out there. He's standing out there. The wind chill factor is 25 below zero. He's standing out there, handing this stuff out. Would Mike F do that? I view them more as a person like that. Joy Merlino, John A-Light, to the youth. John A-Light does a lot for the youth club and coming out, and don't get into the streets. Stay out of the streets. Get educated. Do sports. Do boxing. Stay occupied. See, that's what impresses me. You know, Gene Borrello, he don't want to know nothing. He's the mob tube crazy man. But it's almost like fool's gold, because when you see the theater of it and you see the soap, it's a soap opera, you could see through it after a while. I'm not saying he's not a tough guy, but back in the day, you wouldn't do this. You wouldn't do this. Remember, once upon a time, the mob was supposed to be a secret fraternity. It was supposed to be a secret fraternity. So everybody you see on MobTube cooperated. Let's not forget that, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. All right. So it is what it is. A lot of variables going into all this. But one thing that I saw on this MobTube, and you see it all, like even with Mike F, there's nothing that shocks me or surprises me along those lines. But when he did that interview with the son of Sam and was hugging him, jail, and he's selling the book and selling wine, and he's over there rubbing elbows, that was the all-time Bush League move on Mobtalk, on MobTube. Sorry, Mike, but you ain't got enough money. You claim to have made $500 million off the oil scheme, the gas scheme. So you're financially set. So you're all this and that, and then you're going to jail and you're doing a 10-minute advertisement with Berkowitz, the all-time MobTube. I don't even know what to call it. The biggest bum moves by the guy with the most recognizable MobTube channel, did the biggest flagrant foul scrub move in the history of Mob Talk, let alone mankind. Yeah. Got a 10-minute commercial selling wine and books, walks in and gets up and hugs the guy. And they're selling books. So he was an accountant. Yeah, and the pizza joints. You ain't got enough money? You see? Peel the layers back, folks. It's all MobTube soap opera, but peel the layers back. You ain't got enough money. You're talking about millions and hundreds of millions of dollars. And then 6 years later, you're in a cell with David Berkowitz. You're rubbing elbows and you're hugging him, and you're buying rated. Well, whoa. He was terrorizing our neighborhood. He was terrorizing over there. Wow. These ain't even gangsters on YouTube, folks. These ain't even gangsters. These ain't the true blue gangsters. Sammy the Bull Gravano did what, and John A. Yeah. For treachery. But other than that, these other guys ain't what you see. I don't care what kind of ratings they get or views, because citizens and people are just interested in mafia stories, whether they're true or false. So the public has an insatiable appetite for that, no matter who they are, rats, liars, the appetite to hear good stories, and they have the ability to tell good stories. So that will always remain, that'll always be in play. But guys like me that are just, I got pissed off because I'm watching him lie through his teeth and he thinks everybody's dead or in jail, but there's still guys running around. But I don't want this to be a mob channel, but it is what it is. But these ain't gangsters. These are not gangsters. John A. Light was Albanian, but he was a gangster to me. I don't care if you're made or not. Being a made man doesn't mean whether you're tough or not. John A. Light was Albanian, but he was a gangster. My godfather didn't want to be made, but he was a gangster. He was a gangster's gangster because he got paid to do their dirty work and not even blink an eye. He wasn't made. I couldn't imagine my godfather, if he was alive, he'd have been old, but I wouldn't be able to do this channel. I wouldn't be able to do this channel, even though we love each other and everything. And that's taboo. It's supposed to be a secret society. 14 per month. He's selling everything, Elias Barnes. He's making, and then he's got Patreon. He's selling it. How much does he want? How come he's not breaking ground for a homeless shelter? Because before long, the homeless out in California are going to be on his front porch. How come he's not breaking ground? The big church of Mike and the Bible and the sky opened up and everything else in the cell. Why ain't he breaking ground for a homeless shelter? While he's bragging, he'll take the crumb off of ground before a mouse can get to it. He wants everything. He wants his hands in everything. So, justice for Alan Kaiser. Sammy the Bull Gravano. I did a story on that, and his mother, Alan Kaiser's mother, I don't know if she still watches it. God bless you. I hope you're in good spirits. But I did a story of way back when my channel started, and she commented and everything, and she was like, yeah, because I really bashed Sammy the Bull Gravano. And she texted me that article, the article of the newspaper article. And then he got, when he cooperated, they took all those murders off and he went free. That's why they have this justice for Alan Kaiser. Because no matter what, you should be doing life in prison. Then all of a sudden, this poor lady, his mother's got to see, hey, look, Sammy the Bull Gravano's got a YouTube channel. What? So that's just rubbing it in the face. That's just rubbing it. Sammy the Bull Gravano, that killed your son, he's got a YouTube channel. But these guys ain't this social media mob tube is so unbelievable, but I'm guilty as charged. I'm participating in it, but I just like to throw some things around and do a talk show and get in here with my people and rock and roll. Well, the truth serum, they're not supposed to have scruples. They're not have to. Yeah, they're like this mob tube bull crap and all these characters you see. There was integrity in the mob and respect. See, that's what can't be communicated because you see these clown rats all over MobTube, that the only reason why they got a channel is because they rat it, even though I do like a couple of the rats in there, I'll be honest. Mikey D and Johnny A. But it's not real. It's not real. That ain't the mob the mob was respectful, dignified people. Hey, Big Yin, dignified, respectful people. You see the shenanigans that they're playing. Then you got the biggest channel, Mike F, hugging the son of Sam that terrorized our neighborhood. That's not a gangster. That's a greedy. He's so into the Bible. Isn't greed? Hey, Mike, isn't greed a sin? One of the deadly sins? Isn't greed one of the deadly sins? You're so familiar in the church and everything, Mike. Maybe I don't know, but isn't greed? You couldn't walk away with that hundreds of millions that you claim you had. You couldn't ride away into the sunset. You want to come onto YouTube, number one, and claim that you're a mafia boss, which you weren't, and then sell everything you can and try to make money, everything under the sun. Selling cruises to Cuba for $10,000 on top of all the other crap he's trying to make money on. Wow, no scruples, greed. You're into the Bible, Mike? Greed. I did 350 videos before I even tried to sell my book or do a Cash App or a super chat. And I'm broke. He's over there trying to, how much does he want? And he don't give to charity. Everybody has a right to make money. Everybody, free marketplace, entrepreneur. But if you're standing behind narratives and you're talking about when I was in prison in solitary confinement, the roof opened up and the beam of light came down and then a Bible appeared and then where'd this Bible? The Bible came in. Hey, there's a Bible and I found God yeah. Oh, it's all makes good talk, but didn't the Bible say what are your deeds? The Bible says talk is cheap, but your deeds, so he does all that. A guy that ain't even a gangster. He ain't no gangster. He's not a gangster. If you flashback rewound from 2024 and then you put these guys in the streets back in New York, these guys that have YouTube channels, if this was like a Twilight Zone episode, Mike F, 72, is going to go back to the old neighborhood along with Sammy the Bogravano. They're going to be on FD and Beltway and Bensonhurst and Brooklyn. And we're going to drop them in over here. And then we're going to see what happens. They wouldn't last 5 minutes. These YouTube hack, whatever they are. They ain't gangsters. The YouTube gangster heroes, they're all rats. They're whacked out. They're all full of crap. They're not the traditional gangsters. No, they're not 3%. The other gangsters had respect. That video would have 1 billion views. But that's what you get. You got the doughboy Jeff over there hollering and fighting, sissy fight with Gene, and they're going on, but that goes too far because you can only carry bullshit so far. Because there are some people that do like entertainment value, and then some people are just like, this is getting old. This is just old bullcrap theater. But then, see, that's why the doughboy thinks he has a free pass because, well, I paid you, Sammy. I could talk smack. Well, I paid you, Gene. I could talk smack. Well, no, you still got to realize these guys are hotheads. Sammy Bogravano got all this stuff to be hyped in the media and everything else. Way before that, he was a punk in the streets. I knew people that knew he was a punk. Your big hero, Sammy the Bogravano, with all the stories, all that, and this and that. Oh, he did this and that. They stole the keys to the mansion. They got in the power. He hit you. They stole the keys in there. And if it wasn't for the other families that anybody else but Castellano, because Castellano wasn't in good favor with some of the other families. But it was the perfect timing for that. It was the perfect storm for that. Otherwise than that, he's just another enforcer. Other than that, Sammy, there's a million enforcers that were worse than Sammy the Bogravano. But it was the perfect recognizable name. John Gotti. It was the perfect recognizable name. And he knew that he could do his bidding and all that. And so it was just a perfect storm. Other than that, he ain't shit in the real mob life. But it got publicized and sensationalized and all that. And then it turns into that. There's two worlds. There's MobTube world, and then there's the streets where it's reality. But Sammy the Bull, no. No, I don't know. He's selling pizzas. Big Yin. What was he trying to sell pizzas out of vending machines? Has this guy lost his mind? Hey, Danny, how are you, bud? Big Yin. I thought he was trying to sell pizzas out of vending machines. How greedy can you be? Greed. I like his political views because he's a good thinker like that. Political. He's got good eyes and good talk on that. But he said he don't have many more stories to tell, Mike. He's kind of just riding the wave, but he's got good political views. He's a very smart, intelligent guy, for sure. His place is called Slices. Elias Barnes. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I don't mean any ill will and anything. I try to be a Christian, but jeez, even in the Bible, Paul wrote a book in the Bible, but before he was Paul, his name was Saul. And you know what Saul did? What his job was? To go around the countryside and kill anybody that was a Christian. Anybody that followed Jesus. They would boil them in hot oil. So everybody could change. Paul used to be named Saul, for anybody that knows the Bible. He did the most atrocious, vicious murders you can think of. But then he became Paul, one of the most instrumental people in the New Testament. Very interesting. So everybody's got a chance. So there ain't any crime that you can do that by the blood of Jesus that you could be forgiven for. So that's cool. That's cool. Let's turn it into a Bible show now. What are you guys doing? Oh, the Church of Mike. Yeah, okay. Yeah. He ain't got enough money. He's got a right to make money. He's got a right to make money. But even if he wasn't biblical, give to charity. Give to charity. Because now that you claim to be the church, well, isn't charity on there? Or is he just like all these other mega churches that always got their hand out? The only way to heaven is donating by your tithes, 10% of your income. The only way, folks, to heaven is tithing. The only way. It's no different than the other traditional hack mega churches out there selling swampland. It's no different. No different. Where's the deeds? Where's the deeds? Especially in that scum state of California. There's no end to greed. There ain't no end to greed. People, we're not going to live forever. And whether people entertain there's a spiritual world afterwards or not, that's their own business. The fact is, we're not going to live forever. But most people don't get religious or spiritual until they get stricken with something. And then it's, please God, please God, please God. So you don't know God or Jesus for 40 years. And then in the moment of truth, please God, please God. Prayer beggars. But they rock and roll. But then when there's a crisis, please God, please God. Well, what is it? What is it? He claims to be saved and all of that kind of stuff, but I don't see him breaking ground. I don't see him giving out clothes. That's the biggest homeless population is in California. Well, geographically, it's the biggest state, so that would be easy. but maybe per capita, crunch the numbers, for every 100 people, there might be 7 homeless people. How about building some shelters and start putting those vending machines in those shelters, Mike, so the homeless could get the pizza? What are you going to charge them? $5 a slice? Huh? Never claimed to do one charitable act yet. Well, you shouldn't. The Bible says you shouldn't. You should do your works in secret. You should do your works in secret. He's got a massive painting behind his chair glorifying the mob, and he's in the painting Elias Barnes. I think he has a couple of fancy women. Well, there's stuff I don't want to repeat for the sake of MobTube and YouTube, because I knew him years ago, and his family went through a lot. His family went through a lot. He's a poser. He's a poser. Somebody got a hold of those text messages, though. I will say that somebody got a hold of those text messages somehow. It might have been allegedly. I don't know. You know, with those guys, MRE and Lee Cole, or Shades, or all of them guys. Somebody somewhere allegedly, they had the text from old Cutie Pie over there, Casanova. He's got a painting of the picture of the mob, and he's in the picture. Oh, Big Yin, Lee Cole put them out. I thought he might have. Ooh, ooh. Jeez. Yeah, he's holier than thou. Ooh. Can you say Jesus in your heart? You just donate $10 and I'll get you a ticket to heaven. Come on, folks. Can you say baby? Can you say Jesus in your heart? You just send me $25 and I'll get you a one-way ticket to heaven. Come on, folks. It's no different. It ain't no different than that. No different at all. At least when you see Gene Borrello, you know, he is just what he is. He's just gone, you know. Gene is just he's just that. But Mike is so slick and so crafty psychologically speaking, and he'll reel you in. He'll reel you in. What'd you catch today? I caught a perch. I caught a sunfish. I got a few suckers. Yeah. Wow, me, you got a big haul there. Yeah. Well, the suckers are biting good today. Yeah. Wow. He's good. He's real good. If he just did some more things, you know. I was going through a real crazy time, and my godfather, of course, was an enforcer. So when I was going down there, I was running the bread and milk, you know, running my errands, and then my godfather was like, "Oh, what did he give you? What did they give you?" Blah blah blah, and he kind of got intimidated, and then I went down another time, and he was there, and I had got real nervous because I thought I was gonna be I was in danger. I was in danger, and I wasn't eating, and I thought I was gonna get hit somehow. And I went down, and I had lost weight. I was already thin from being an athlete and running track, but I was spiraling, and I was doing my thing, and they came, and my godfather my godfather was somewhere in the mix, but I was walking, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to, and I thought I was gonna faint. I thought I was gonna faint, and he was compassionate. it's okay, it's okay, everything, because they had to be nice, because my godfather loved me, and my godfather might have done work for them, the Colombos. So it was a weird dynamic that they didn't know at first. The guys, Sam and them at first, it's a small world. They didn't know that Mickey was my godfather. So poor Mike, it comes to light that, yeah, Mickey's my godfather. So Mickey's the enforcer for that family and other families. So then they had to be nice to me. They had to be nice to me. I just because it's a small world. And I was feeling faint, and he said, "Sit down." They poured water on me and everything, poured money. It's all right, it's all right, and everything. He had compassion in him. He had compassion in him. He had compassion. You know, but he didn't come into the streets. If there was a delivery, maybe, yeah, but Mike wasn't in the streets. He wasn't a street person. Would he have an office in Manhattan, Fifth Avenue? Yeah, he wasn't in the streets. He had an office and an office building with businessmen. He had an office with businessmen. He wasn't at the clubs. If so, very rarely. He didn't go on the streets. Money, bookmaking. That's all bookmaking and whatever rackets. But yeah, God bless him. That's what he did. Uh, no, I never owned a gun. I owned 11 of them, but not one. No, I wasn't ever a gun person. They put guns in my car, though. They were hiding guns in my car. But isn't that a crime to have a gun if it wasn't licensed? I don't know if there's a statute of limitations on that. There's legal guns and illegal guns. What do you work for, the FBI, Big Ian? No, I never had a gun, bro. No, I had a cap gun. Remember the cap guns and the squirt gun? So yeah, that's when Mike knew, like, and then I said I can't do this anymore because they're trying to rob the bread and milk. They're trying to rob the bread and milk. They're trying to rob their own family because they're all broke, degenerate gamblers. Mike run a good bookmaking ring. Mike run a good, big, probably the biggest one. People don't even realize. All the families did bookmaking and gambling, sports gambling. I don't know if they admit it or not, but the Colombos, or not intimately related to making the lines, collecting here or there, because my godfather had to collect. They hired my godfather to collect for the people that were blowing money, gambling, and so he would know my godfather. And then it was like, geez, Joe's your godson? Yeah, so take care of him. Don't be a chiseling panhandler. Mike F reminds me of some of my friends' dads back in the day. More business than street guys. Yeah. And there ain't nothing wrong with being a business guy. Everybody needs smart thinkers and good educated minds in there, which there were a lot of them. But drugs and it's gonna crumble because it fell apart because they were making money and then they were doing drugs. All the mob families sold drugs. Okay, is that even an issue? All the mafia families sold drugs. Holy cow. So I don't know what Mike said or anybody else said. Well, if they did it behind, so in his mind, because he had his hand in so much stuff like an octopus, so them guys were doing business with guys in Harlem, cocaine, the mafia dealt with the guys in Harlem gangs. straight from the freaking Colombia. But he don't want to admit to that because I understand his personal world and life like that. So maybe that's just a coping mechanism to say no, that never happened. But because it impacted his family. Forgive me, it impacted his family. So, but it existed. Okay. If he didn't get a piece of the action, well, it's Mike. You didn't get a piece of all the action on everything. You only had 8 arms. You know, you would have needed 9 arms to get a piece of that illegal drugs money. Okay, you know. So, yeah, that's yeah, that's really personal and stuff like that. But yeah, he's just a businessman. That's all. He was just a businessman. He got on YouTube and he put in all the titles, former mafia boss. He knows he wasn't a boss. He was a businessman. He put in all the things. Come on, man. Treacherous. No, I don't think so, Elias. Bianco? I think I knew a Bianco that was into martial arts. Does my screen look better? I cleaned it. I got a comment from somebody that was pissed off at me. I should have done that a long time ago. If I'm messing up, tell me. It does look brighter. I thought my lighting was bad. It was a dirty screen. Jeez, can't catch a break. As far as Bianco, I think the only one I knew, a lot of these people, a lot of these names are shortened, you know. A lot of these Italian names, oh, you worked with him 30 years ago to Chicago, but he went to New York. Oh, all the time. That was you, Scott K. My mind is shot, man. My mind is shot. Thank you, Scott. I was like, here's this guy busting my chops, you know. Oh, thank you, man. I'm not a tough guy. I ain't no damn tough guy. Thank you. It looks bright. Jeez. Here's a thought, Joe. Clean your damn camera lens. It's a pin needle. It's a pin needle on the top. So it's so easy for that to, there must be dust on it after 500 videos. The hell is wrong with me? I need help, folks. Can you help a guy out? Thanks, man. Thanks. I like my people in here. You know, what are we going to do? I like to have fun. And everybody's got a right to make money on their channels and everything else. But geez, that Doughboy and Gene Borrello. I relate things in my 61 years old thinking. I look at this stuff and then transpose it to like in the real days, you know, back in the real days. Mario M says, you're making a fool of yourself. Oh, hello. I've only been doing that for 400 videos, scumbag. Here come the Doughboy guys. You're a little late. You're a little late. We're at your brownie meeting. Come on. Michael Giovanni. Gene lived with me for a year in Tampa when he moved down from Queens. He's the real deal in the streets, but he's got a soft side. I said that, you know, they do have a compassionate sense of humor, soft side in them. Yeah. We started the auto spa and I took 300 grand from her and she left me. What? Michael Giovanni. Wow. Yeah, Vegas Pete, you know, I don't understand. He's got these deals and everything. And yeah, I know, Scott. Thank you, man. Thank you. But Gene scared him. Gene scared him. Oh, why? Why'd you say that? Well, Gene scared. Why'd you do this and that? You know, it is what it is. But I don't put it past Gene to get violent on somebody. So are we saying that Gene just ain't the violent kind of guy? You know, I just look at this kind of stuff through a lens like, what would it be in the streets? He's a good guy. I'm glad he's doing well nowadays. Oh, okay. Hmm. That's good. You see guys like Gene, and they have that, but behind the scenes, they got a good sense of humor, and you see this like bipolar. It's like bipolar, and yeah, people go crazy. But I used to hang out, and then they were nice and had fun and tell joy and like to laugh. We see the crazy part on Mob Talk, MobTube, but there was a lot of laughter. It wasn't all stress and all this. Yeah, there's an element of stress in there, but there's good laughing times. Some of these guys could have been stand-up comedians, quick-witted and telling jokes. It was fun, but MobTube has to really accentuate the craziness of all this and that. I mean, that's understandable. That's understandable. Gene is a type of person that switches up on you when you call him out, and I'm like, yeah, because they get I don't want to get crazy about psychology and everything, but you know, if you like peel things back psychologically and what motivates people to do what they do, I'm not going to go any further into that kind of stuff. Thank you for subbing. I appreciate it. But people struggle psychologically and things like that. Oh, no, I'm not really technical. I just cleaned my screen off after 300. I'm not really a technical guy. I'm just a one-man show. No, nothing. I got a fake microphone. We got a real big show tonight. The Ed Sullivan Show. The Beatles. See, I'm just a little run-around hack, but I like to have fun. And I do like to encourage and motivate the people that come in here to rise up their lives and their mind, spirit, body, and rise up and enjoy life. We like good stories and we like soap opera and we like that guy's good, that guy's a bum, this guy, but we got to live our lives too. I don't want to get mushy because I got some tough guys in here. I know you want to hear mushy stuff, but you know, but yeah, it is what it is. Because I was spared. I was spared. I was dead and I came back, Yeah, and I just do it. And where I rise, where my channel goes, it goes. I get bored, I do my channel, and it's fun. But my thinking, my schema of thinking is back in the day. So that's where my thoughts and perceptions and words and narratives come out because I'm comparing these guys to what my perceptions were, whether they're correct or not, but they're still my perceptions of those years. Well, the crew, the Niagara Falls and the Columbos in New York, I didn't want to get made, Michael. Yeah, I didn't want to get made. And I don't like giving names because people like to say, "Oh, you don't." I wasn't a made man, and I had Angelo on here who was in prison, and that went bad because I was catching him live on the show, and he didn't know he was being on, and that derailed. And then it's like, oh, what's his name? What do you want? The FBI? They want the FBI to drag me into freaking things. I didn't know. No, I don't know any names, but my godfather, I mentioned his name prior, but um, I like to have fun. And uh, the Mangione was a name. I'll give out one name, Mangione, which is not a common name. It's not a common name on MobTube. Mangione, Mazza, Gravanda. They're not YouTube names. They're not YouTube names. But Google Boy and them, if they don't hear it, you know, Di Lorenzo, these people got these nice names, man. Giovanni was good. But yeah, they I don't like using names. If I can't entertain, I don't like it was Bush League what I did with Ange because he didn't know he was being, but you got experts like Doughboy over there And if you don't give names, then it didn't exist. And he just hangs his head on whatever he can research. Any of you smart, intelligent, articulate people should, number one, know that the proffers could be manipulated, which many were, and 97% of them are blacked out and redacted. So there's some of your Google Meister is gone. And number two, the names of the families, the ranking people in the families weren't always those people that held those responsibilities. There were captains that had power over underbosses. You know, always with wow. My grandfather is Anthony. He was the Watts, Joe Watts. Oh yeah, Joe Watts. We're treachering into some deep waters here. Cugini. Ooh, we're going into some my godfather brung that name up a million years ago. I said, what'd he do? Work for the electric company? He went, I should slap you. I said, what? They're not recognizable names. If it ain't Al Capone or Sammy the Bull Gravano or all these names, then and Doughboy can't Google it. And if Doughboy can't Google it, then in his mind, he's the sheriff. And he if somebody says something, oh, I couldn't Google it, I couldn't find it, so that means it didn't exist. You people are smarter than that. Gosh. You people are, I mean, is there any, sensibility left? Yeah, Joe. Ooh. Yeah. Them guys. And so when you see Doughboy and Borrello and Gene, and you see Gene and them, that's theater. Forgive me, that's theater. And people have the right to go watch a good theater movie with Doughboy and Gene. That ain't the real mob. That's some kind of crazy shenanigans. Go back into the 80s and 90s, the 70s, 80s, and the 90s. Nicky Carrazzo. Some rough guys over there, boy. This ain't the real whatever they're doing over there. That's why I get pissed off at some of that gibberish. The sheriff over there trying to tell me what I was touching, and his co-pilot trying to tell me something he tried to Google or didn't Google, or it was just his own personal thoughts. And so in his life, he's thinking, trying to tell me something that I was right there. It's insane. That's why I keep. I don't want to have mob soap opera with bums like the Doughboy. There's a bum. Why does Gene Borrello even go on there? I wouldn't even want to utter his name. But he started. He threw the first punch. He threw the first punch here because he couldn't interview a guy. He interviews rats. Doughboy interviews rats, and he has to pay rats. I interviewed a captain that's doing life in prison because he didn't rat. And that's when he started throwing the punches at me. So Vegas Pete, when you're watching him, that's where I come from. Okay. When you're watching him, and God bless him. So that's where I come from. He threw the first punch with his little Batman and with his little sidekick. He threw the first punch. That's why at any opportunity I want to call him a bum, I'll call him a bum. Are there any thinkers out there left? Because he's done all this Google, and all he can do is pay rats. And I get a call, which was Bush League on my part, because of course Ange didn't know it, and I got in trouble for that. But yeah, I hoard myself out to try to get views. Yes, I admit it. To try to raise my channel. And I didn't tell him. And I had the phone here like this. But he didn't rat. And he got ratted on. And he's going to die in prison. But numbnuts Doughboy over there has to pay rats. So that's all you guys are getting is this commentaries and narratives from a bum and rats. That's all. It seems like Mob 2 likes rats. Mike Francis was a rat. He was a speed rat in front of Congress. Sammy the Bull Gravano was a rat. They're all rats. All your mob heroes are rats. But who cares? They tell good stories. So send them all your money. Send them some super chats while you're at it. Yeah, thank you. Oh, thank you. I'm so nice. Yeah. You're letting bums hustle you. I don't care if I get a pat. I appreciate if I could somebody send something in here or not. I don't compromise my integrity for none of MobTube and all these bums. Mike Francis, speed rat in front of the congressional here, the Congress, you know. Sir Drums, Mingy, it worked. I got a donation, a sawbuck. Thank you, Sir Drums. Thank you. God bless you and your family. You donate to me, you're going to get a good blessing. All right. Forgive me, God, but I work with the supernatural. But that's all good. Thank you, Jesus. But he gave up everybody but the plumber, Vegas Pete. Speed rat, look it up. Check it's in one of my videos. He gave up 17 people, I think, in 36 seconds. The only person he didn't give up is the janitor. Yeah. It's well publicized. Thank you. Thank you, Mike, for jumping in. I appreciate it. I'm not a tough mobster guy and all that. I like to laugh. Let's have some fun. You know, I'm not a tech guy. Okay. I'm 61 years old. I'm up here by myself. I need company. Come hang out with me. I'm not a tough guy. I get pissed off on things and stuff, but I'm not tough, you know. How could he swear to God that he never was a rat? Ramondi, what are you watching, Pete? Ramondi. Look, you could Google it. You could on YouTube, search it on YouTube. Search it on YouTube. Sitting in front of Congress. He not only the Colombo family, but he gave up everybody in the kitchen sink and all the families. Holy cow. Yeah. Then see before that, forgive me, folks, before that, remember Norby Walters, and they were saying this and that, and so Mike said, no. Oh, thank you, man. I'll get a cannoli. Thank you, Big Yen. Thank you. He even wrote a letter to Santa. Full house for Francine. Well, this is what Mike said. He goes, well, listen, he was with the feds, and he said, well, I said all this and that, but Norby died before Norby Walters died. So your intentions were ratting. It just so happened that poor Norby died. But in the meantime, he in the mix, he went in front of Congress. The Senate judicial hearing on organized crime and the committee hearings. He gave up. So many names came out of his mouth. You have to rewind it to start counting. Where does he show up on YouTube? Former mob boss. He wasn't a boss. The guy's full of crap. Well, Mike Francis thought he was a tough guy while walking around and he's standing all that gas money. Now found God. Well, Vegas Pete, what he had to do was what any smart chess player would do was before they had the racket. Okay, this is what people don't realize. They did the racket, and he was smart enough to know that those gas stations and all that stuff were in other families' turf and everything, you know. So you're generating money on that turf. So other than them finding out later and going, oh geez, we just heard about Mike making all this money and we're just over here like schmucks. So, but no, allegedly, Mike went in good faith and said, here's some envelopes. It's Merry Christmas. Here's some envelopes. And he didn't tell them, allegedly, he didn't really tell them how much he was deriving from said hustle. No, he didn't probably tell the true numbers, but that was a good chess move. Go first in good faith before they get pissed off later and going, what's this guy making millions all over the place? And you're going to cause four families to come at you for something as big as that. One of the biggest hustles in mafia history. So he had to play that out right. I mean, thought he was but he wasn't a street guy. He wasn't a street guy. They said, here, you could be a captain. You just handed over $7 million to these guys. Here, you need a pen? You want to call yourself a captain? He got on YouTube and called himself a boss. Give us another couple 100,000. You could be Clint Eastwood if you want. You could be anything you want. Just throw us another 300,000. You call yourself whatever you want. But your office is in Manhattan. Your office is in you have an office. You don't go to the club. You don't go in the club and drink your wine. No, you go over there and you handle that stuff over there. He wouldn't want to be there anyways. He ain't a street guy. He ain't a street guy. Scott K says, what's your story? New to your page. Well, I tell old stories. I was a runaround guy. I wrote a book. The link is in the description. That'll tell you a lot. And my godfather did work for the Colombos and some other families. And I got on here, number one, because Mike Francis was up there lying. And they were all going, look at that Mike Francis lying his ass off every time. And so I started bashing him. I started doing videos and I started bashing him. Yeah, kind of immature, but yeah, it was content. It was content. But I like telling interesting stories. I have stories that aren't mob related just because my life's been crazy. So Francis is starting to sell easy bake ovens for the frozen pizza line. He's closing in on a monopoly. Good one, Ivan Lore. Holy macaroni and cheese. Yeah, so thank you, Scott, for coming in. And you get all this stuff, mob tool. But I'm not the sheriff. But it seems like I have to defend what that era was when you see these rats running around and these guys are dead. They can't defend themselves. They're dead. You got all these bums running around all over YouTube, and it's not my position or right to defend. I wasn't a made guy, but I was around it. And I just want to show somebody or shed some light on some of this bullshit that they're spewing left and right. These rat channels. And then you got the Google Meister. You got the Google Meister that talks to the rats. He pays the rats. So all that is gibberish. So what is it? They're pissing all over the mob, the history of the mob. They're pissing all over the history of the mob. Thank you, Big Yin. Thank you for helping me. Yes, there's the book right there. There's Little Me. They dead missed. There's Little Me. The link is in the description. I've sold 4 in 2 years. Best book I've ever written. Best book ever written, or should I say second best book ever written. We know what the best book ever written was. Ta-da! All right. They dead missed. You see, they dead missed. It's they dead missed. Goofy name. Because ever since I was young, I survived life-threatening things from mono, from pneumonia. Divine intervention came into play a lot of different times. So Divine intervention came into place. We live in a physical world, but the spiritual world controls things. We have Bonnie official edit. Hey, first time I caught you live. Much love from Canada. Hey, here's to the French from the North. I'm getting that book on payday. It's only like $9 or something, but it's a fast read. I can write. I'm academically sound. I'm a dean's guy and all that, but I ruined my life. I ruined my wasted time and ruined my life. But I would get on here and I'd see these rats talking, and thank you, Scott K. And I was thinking, why are these guys, these rats, and they're just talking all this stuff, which they have a right to, but I would have never thought that Mike F would even do that. You said that you had hundreds of millions. What the hell you want to go show your face on YouTube for? Just go have fun with your family and live out your years. Can you see why he called himself a mob boss in his first videos? You see? Psychological. Figure it out. Figure it out, you Freuds. If Sigmund Freud's you don't have to be Sigmund Freud to figure it out. He just wanted the hype. That's all. I tell you, I wasn't a made man. I don't want to be a made man. My mother didn't raise me to be a made man. No. Yeah, Bible. So there was a lot of divine intervention. That's why I tell the folks at the end, don't give up. Don't give up. Get your mind and your head and your body and your spirit. Get it straight. Get it in order. You could come back. You can come back. Yeah. Yeah, good for you. I just had 10 years since I died on that fentanyl garbage. I knew it wasn't dope, but I was dead on the floor like a rat. I was on life support for a year. I was supposed to be brain dead when I got out of it. I had a 3% chance of survival. And if I did survive, I'd have to be infirmarized. I do have some deficits, if you haven't noticed, but I'm trying my best. So you could come back. You can come back, folks. Yeah, you could come back. And I've had all these crazy things happen to me in my life. And if you're not religious, you should be spiritual, because the spiritual realm has dominion over the physical realm. And them demons, boy, the demons don't sleep. The demons work around the clock. So keep your guard up. That's all. Have an uplifting, prosperous life. That's all. Have a prosperous life. And people struggle from mental health issues and addiction issues and everything. Thank you, Bonnie Official Edit. Welcome to the Easy Rider. We got the Easy Rider Super Chat. Thank you. God bless you and your family. Good people in here. Yeah, I don't want to be a mobster, gangster, and everything like that. But this is entertainment. Oh, that guy's no good. This guy's no good. This guy. You folks got to live your lives. Your husbands and wives and children and fathers and mothers, and you got to embrace. I used to do freelance therapy. I used to have clients, freelance clients. You want to see another picture? Look at that mug. General counseling. In therapy, though, a lot of times when you're giving therapy, of course, some people do need help, but some people just want to ignore the truth. And they feel like going to therapy is an excuse to keep screwing up. Well, honey, I'm sorry I cheated on you 4 times last week, but I'm in therapy and I'm trying to get better. Oh, well, geez, honey, well, you're down from 7 cheating last week, so you're getting there. So sometimes people use therapy as leverage. Yeah. I used to tell some people, you don't need therapy. You already know the answers. So why are we playing this cat and mouse game? So you could keep misbehaving and telling your spouse, well, honey, I'm sorry I did it again. But I went and seen Joe, and we're trying to get there. Yeah, Scott, because this demonic this addiction is fueled by demonic thinking because we know the right and wrong. We know that, geez, boom, 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 no good. Take a dirt nap. We know this. So what can invade our thinking for us to have these maladaptive behaviors? We know right or wrong, unless we're suffering from some extreme mental illness. But generally speaking, we know what's right or wrong. So why would we continue these bad behaviors? I knew before I died, I knew I went and lit candles at the church because I said, I'm going down. Please, angels, save me because something's going to happen bad. And there's a lot of things that was going on, like demonic shit, supernatural shit that was going on. And I said, the end is coming. But I knew it took for me to freaking die and be on life support to finally come get my head cleaned out because it's demonic. So our natural thinking of common sense, our natural common sense thinking, it doesn't matter how high an IQ you got or if you got master's degrees or anything like that. The demons don't care how academically smart you claim to be or how high of an IQ you got. I got a Mensa IQ. I shot myself to death and landed dead on the floor. The demons don't care. The demons don't care. They want your ass. So that's what trumps logical thinking. So that's why I say put up your spiritual armor. It is spiritual warfare. This isn't just fancy talk. This isn't fancy whatever. This is real stuff. Oh, I was born a Christian. I came up through all that stuff and I knew the Bible and I went to church school on Mondays and it was during academic school. You could go to church school on Monday at noon and for the rest of the day. I knew all this stuff, you know, biblical stuff and everything. But it sounded like a good story. Yeah, wow, what a great story. Me, fascinating stuff. Yeah, it all sounds good. And you just pay a little credence to it and whatever. But when it happened to me many times, divine intervention, and then when I was dead, I was like, I should have listened a little harder I should have acted. I should have acted a little better from the knowledge that I had. I should have acted a little better and I wouldn't have ruined my life the way I did. I should have known better, but the devil doesn't rest. The devil uh, 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 doesn't take a day off. So, you know, in psychology, they know the answers. The clients know the answers, but they just want to be in denial because they want an excuse to keep misbehaving. You know, just like drug addicts. Well, it goes back to like some people just like doing drugs. Okay. The St. Francis prayer. Hey, 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 hey. There's people. Now, you don't have to have any bad childhood or this happened and that happened in the trajectory of your life. So you became a drug addict because mommy did this to you or daddy did this to you and you were abused and this and that. That doesn't have to be the story. People like doing opiates. There's other cultures in the world that are regular cultures that do opiates because they go into the spiritual realm and they feel and they do their cultural activities. Every drug addict that does drugs doesn't have some kind of bad backstory that's like, oh, this and that. Yes, it does occur. Yes, that does happen. That does happen. But it's not like, don't be a little pity patty bitch. And even if it does happen, and well, Joe, well, no, I don't want no. We're done with these therapy sessions. You're just crying about 1978. You're crying about 1982. Get over it. Get over it. You either want to get over it or you don't. It's a choice. to set your mind, your thinking apparatus, set it. Be the king. I tell you, people, be kings and queens. We're going to go through stuff. Don't sit back there and dwell on it. Oh, when I was little, my father played with my feet. Well, get over it. I don't mean to be tough like that, but you're fueling it. Why are you going back to the scene of the crime? Trust in the spiritual. Don't look to me for an answer because somebody touched you and you look to God and be the king and queen that you were supposed to be. Don't look to me. You know the answer. Get over it. Now that sounds harsh. Well, Joe, that's a little harsh, young children coming. You're of adult thinking age. If your mind hasn't been compromised, if you made it through that abuse and you still got some kind of good thinking, uncompromised mind, get the F over it. And you still want to be a victim. You're still playing a victim role. How do we get to this subject matter? We go from gangsters, drug addiction. You guys get a lot for your bark here. Oh, wow. Oh. Thank you, Ivan Lore. Drugs don't discriminate, Big Yin. Joe Gold, I did stuff because it was fun in the beginning. Sin can be very alluring and intoxicating when you're young. Yes. Yeah. Then when you're hooked on drugs, well, when you don't do them, you Jones. You Jones. You withdraw from them. You're withdrawing off of heroin. It's like the devil reaching up and grabbing you by the freaking butt and pulling you through the whatever. I don't even know, but I do know. I do know what withdrawal symptoms are. Francis, leave the. Yeah, we have to move forward. We can't play boo-hoo, poor me. We have royal DNA. See that? The devil's winning. The devil's looking, going, well, look, he's crying about when mommy and daddy did this to him or somebody. Look at the devil's going, look at. He's stuck in shit. He's going to be telling that. He's going to be in therapy for 30 years. Yeah, the devil's laughing. Get over it. Move on. There's no shame in being a victim. If you're a victim, you shouldn't have shame. And then it's like, well, it must have been something I thought. No, you were 8, Sally. It wasn't nothing you did. Come on. These eyes have seen a lot of love, but I'm never gonna love another woman like I have in you. Whoa, these eyes have seen a lot of crazy shit. Oh, Ivan, yeah, real quick, if bad things happen, man, and you're an adult, yeah, heroin withdrawal is the hardest thing a man can do. Anybody that conquers it deserves nothing but praise. It's spiritual warfare. It's spiritual warfare. The devil was given dominion. Yeah, chalk it up, turn the page, be creative and come up with a counter. Yeah. Well, some people like to just believe that that's the only chapter of their life. So they want to keep revisiting the crime. The story should be you went through a lot of crap and you conquered it. And now you're moving on to another chapter. But the frog that keeps looking at the lily pad behind him cannot leap and jump and land on the lily pad in front of him. Grasshopper. Okay. You can't you can learn from your past and you can analyze your past and process it. But you gotta keep moving on. You gotta keep rocking on. Don't let the demons win them battles. No, I've been under demonic attack forever. Under demonic attack, I died from it. I was under demonic attack. I got crucifix. I got some weapons now. I got weapons. Oh no, they ain't getting me. I got weapons. I'm surrounded. I got my army here. No, I played that. I played that game. I played that spiritual game and lost. I lost that game right to being dead. and on life support for an hour. I lost that game. I know how that game works, that spiritual angels and demons. I know how the angels and demons game work. I lost that game. So I'm not going to lose it again. I'm not going to lose it again. Not me. Mm-mm. No. And that doesn't mean nothing either by showing you these. And that doesn't mean, in honesty, because I know my people are thinkers, that doesn't mean anything. It has to be in your heart. I could show you everything under the sun, but that still doesn't mean anything. That could just be for show. You have to have it in your heart. You know, I'm not Mike F. Okay, this ain't Mike F. I'm brave enough to even say that. Okay, but I am a believer. Now I'm a believer. I wouldn't keep her if I. What else? We got our bodies are gifted to heal themselves. Yes, yes. I didn't think this show would go this long. We covered a lot here tonight. Thank you, Scott K. Thank you, my good people. God bless you and your family. You see how psychology works? Scott K, come in here. Now, this ain't just because he gave $4.99. But this is how psychology and love and compassion works. This is how psychology and love and compassion is. I misread something on the comment and this and that, and he might have said something, boom, boom, boom. But I understand that he has a right to his opinion and things like that. So we kind of even that out. And now he goes the extra step with the love and compassion to do that, whether it was 5 cents or $4.99. That's what I'm trying to accomplish here. I'm not a gangster. I'm a storyteller. I'm not a gangster. I want to help people. I want to integrate psychology and uplifting things because God brought me back to do this and then try to motivate. I had a girl that was going to commit suicide on here one time, way back when. And she turned onto my channel by accident, and I was trying to share love and compassion. And she committed suicide, and she thrived and got a job, and she's very successful. These things ain't coincidences. They're not coincidences. I know that. I know good and evil, and I'm not an angel. I'm not an angel. I'm still crazy at times, but that's what it's all about. When you get it, then you get it. You get it. Life is short. Life is precious. We like to hear mob stories. Boy, we can rock and roll, but we still want to have an abundant life. And you can look at it partly sunny or partly cloudy. I'm pimping goodwill and cheer. I'm the goodwill and cheer pimp. Sometimes, just like in therapy, I could say do this and that. You guys know that you should thrive. You guys know that you should have abundance. You guys know you should be confident. But so why are you telling us, Joe? Because sometimes you just need to hear it. You guys are working your daily lives. You got jobs. You got families, wives, husband, children. You're busy. Sometimes you come in here, you hear my nice, cool, soothing voice. I should read books at night, put you guys to sleep. So you need to hear that to wake up and say, okay, okay. Yes, Joe, I know that, but geez, I've been so distracted. I need somebody to say, hey, snap out of it. Come on. Let's rise up in our abundant thinking. Let's be happy. Your wife knows you love her. Your wife knows you love her, but she still wants to hear it once in a while. She still wants to hear it. Words are powerful. You get it all here, folks. You get it all here. You get it all here. I lived it all. I mean, I got experience. I got book smart and street smart. And then I was on the other side when I was dead. How could you cram so much into one 61-year-old lifetime? You wonder why I'm crazy? Why me? But I had crazy dreams, and I started doing YouTube. And then it was like, you better start sharing a good word because we saved your ass 10 times with divine intervention. I started having crazy dreams. You better start putting a good message out on that channel because it ain't for the mob. It ain't for the mob. And my mob didn't raise no gangster. So you better start showing that you got other skills I hope they're skills. So you got other skills to really try to reach a person in the real world, not mob talk, mob tube world. You got people out there that got life. So I owe that because I had the mercy of, I got saved from death. So I got to integrate that into my channel, which might be boring to some people, but hey, I got to integrate it, whatever that, I got to integrate it. I can't be, I'm not bought out like all these other, whatever. I do dulcet, dulcet tones. I got sunshine. I got sunshine on a cloudy day. You're a big yin, man. I'm the pimp of goodwill. Oh, but I get pissed off and I get crazy too. But you have to still step back and look at it. So you got to recognize it. Thank you, Francis. Oh, this coffee. I don't drink, folks. Thank you, Francis. I could use a co-host, Francis. Beautiful. I'll stop right there because she always comes in good woman. Good woman. Do you have any memories of the other side? Big Yin says, well, if you're going to buy the book, I don't want to ruin it for you. I'm getting like Mike Francis. I'm learning from Mike. Well, you're going to have to buy the book, Big Yin. I don't want to spoil it for you. Yeah, I have memories of the other side. Yes, I do. I don't know. Touche. Big Yin is in the house. If I knew your address, I'd send it to you. As long as it's like it's on Amazon. It's like $8 or something, $9, I think. It's on Amazon Books. The link is in the description. It's 180 pages. Now I'm selling books. When you start reading it, you won't be able to put it down. I could tell you that much. I can write. You hear I can talk. You hear I can chirp, 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 chirp. I could put sentences together. Maybe I could be a good author. Maybe there's a chance that I might be able to be a good author and elaborate and eloquently and give you the good storyline. That's all. I didn't even $10. It should be 20, but there's a good spiritual word in there. So I don't care about, I don't have money, but I don't want to compromise that. I'd rather sell it for cheap and share a good word. So God will be proud of me that at least I'm trying, after I was dead. So God, I am trying. So I put a small price on there to inspire people that come up against life things and stuff so they can try to rise up from things that happen. So I just put a cheap price on it. So to share a good word and try to lift people up is more important. I used to have money back in the day. I lived good back then, but my daughter's 36. She still says, I love you, Daddy. Well, that's all I need at this point in time. I'll eat bologna sandwiches and ramen noodles to the end of time. But there's other riches. Yeah, I'm older. Different things have different value. You guys coming in here and talking to me, I value that. I value that. That's a score to me. That's a score. That's a 3-team parlay. That's a score. Yeah. Oh, you know the name, Joseph Monty, Joel Gold. I'll send you my address on Facebook. PM this evening. Send your check and get a signed copy. Oh, okay, that's cool. Thank you, Joel Gold. Joseph Monty. It used to be Montefusco, but it was shortened. That's my writer's name. That's my real name is Giovanni da Vinci. I'm a descendant from Leonardo da Vinci. Nah, I'm lying. I wish I had a fancy name. Yeah, Thank you, folks. I had a lot of good things going on. Then I got a divorce. You got the gold mine, and I got the chef. Well, Joel Gold, that happens. But stay strong. Stay strong. You know, you hear, well, everything happens for a reason. Well, there was a reason. She was no good. Yeah. Oh, that a lot of cliche things out there. See, that's why you have to shift your focus to the world is gonna. You know how I close my shows? The world is a vampire. It wants that blood. No, you know, we're gonna take things, but it's the ability. It's the ability to bounce back. You know, oh, that was 23 years ago. Well, good. I hope you're over it. I hope you're over. Some people never get over breakups. I don't know. Some people just don't get over. I had people in there. It's sad. It's sad. You know, codependent, and people become codependent. Oh, geez, and then people. Oh, it's bad. All you need is love. Francis, you're gonna come down here and be my co-host. Maybe I'll start getting some views. We're gonna have to put you in a bikini on this couch. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Joe, you're surrounded by all this religious stuff. You want to put the poor girl in a bikini on your couch? Forgive me, God. Forgive me. Jeez. Jeez. Bad. See? We all fall short of a heavenly glory, but it doesn't mean we have a green light to be an a-hole like me. Over it all, just trying to be what I can get. Yeah, that's all. Just enjoy. I laugh. You know, at the mob, at the club, everybody was laughing all the time. Yeah, there was treachery in the mob, but people were laughing. Joe, did and I used to tell some good stories. Of course they could turn on you and that kind of stuff, but people like to, a lot of them guys had a sense of humor. Yeah, you could be a treacherous guy like that. I bet you Gene Borrello has a good sense of humor behind the scenes. A lot of them guys, very witty. God gave us eyes, and we use those eyes to appreciate beauty. Yes, yes. Well, you know what's funny? When all else fails, laugh, right? But talking about the eyes, okay? This is tough on Christians, all right? I won't speak on it anymore. This is tough on Christians. In the Old Testament, people were running crazy, okay? They were running crazy, blah, 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 blah. They come up with the 10 Commandments. Uh-oh, Francis Fiati, Franciotti. But, everybody that's been thinking about this Christian stuff, and you get confused. Well, I'm a dummy, so this is Christianity for dummies in 2 minutes. So the 10 Commandments. All right. Okay, hold on. All right. I even got them hanging around. The 10 Commandments. All right. Thou shalt not worship a graven image. Don't say the name in vain. Honor thy father. Thou shalt not kill. Don't commit adultery. Don't steal. False witness. Thou shalt not covet. Thou shalt not covet. Okay. How can we follow these? Now, you talk about the eyes. If I'm on the beach, excuse me, and there's all these bikinis and fine women and beautiful women, and my eyes look and I lust. Ooh, that's a fine woman right there. Ooh, I wish I could get down with her. That's a sin. How can I dodge that? How can I dodge that? Who can follow these 10 commandments? God knows little old humans can't follow these in the Old Testament. So when we do these, the New Testament come, then Jesus come, because they said, well, Jesus can pay the tab on that. So that's very simple for Christians who are confused. So God, that's a tough setup. How how when even looking at something the wrong way is a sin. Well, how's anybody gonna dodge that? That's a trap, God. That's a trap. The Ten Commandments. Well, hold on there, the truth serum. We're gonna bring you into the New Testament, and we're gonna have somebody that through your belief that he'll pay that tab. It doesn't give you a green light to sin like that just because Jesus will take it on the chin. So so now you could have it in your heart to try a little better because Jesus is gonna pay that tab because you're freaking horny and you're thinking about this, not me. Me being horny, never. But you know, you're going to have these thoughts and actions, and some people do commit adultery. They do the sexual act too, and they do commit the acts. But even if you have a thought, that's why thoughts. That's why demons. That's why I say it's spiritual warfare because the demons get your thoughts. That's the demon is uh, the breach you. The demon breaches your thought. What's a thought? You have a thought. You think about it. Then what does a thought turn into? Wow, I wonder about this. Thought turns into an action. That action could be a sin. So the first part of a sin is a thought. The actual thought could be a sin, but I thought about robbing a car and then I actually did it and it came to fruition. So it was a active thought. I should be charging you guys for this stuff. Oh, wow. Your eyes are booty magnets. Oh, Lord have mercy. God forgive me. Oh, well. So it's kind of like like God. Why put us into that kind of game, God? Well, that's why. That's what it's all about, in a nutshell. Because people are so confused about the Ten Commandments, Moses, all them stories, and then the New Testament. Take my money, but if it was freely given to me, so I am freely giving it to you. That's why. That's why. I got to hold up my end of the bargain. That's why they had mercy and I came back to life. So that's all. I wanted, if I could help one person conquer whatever they need to conquer, then that's good enough for me. That's all. That's all. That's the name of the game. That's what more do you want? So I try to simplify that because some people get so confused about all this kind of stuff. So, thank you, Scott K. It's a bad, I mean, it ain't all, but the message could be stronger than bad lighting, bad this, that, the message could be better. Life of Brian was the greatest religious film I've ever made. Big in. There's a story about my friend Brian that was on life support too. It's in the book. And what happened to him when I went into his room when they were giving him his last rites. A blessing. Thank you. You're saying a bit messed up, but still much love. Yeah, I'm a little crazy. That's why this stuff makes you crazy because you've been exposed. I've been exposed to too much stuff. So it's hard to process it. Then I become bipolar. And then, you're a smorgasbord. Control your mindset, young man. I like that. That's beautiful, Bonnie. Official edit. She said, a blessing. Thank you. You're a saint. A bit messed up, but still much love. Much love. Much love. That's all. Let's try to rise up, Bonnie. Official. She said, I'm nuts too. She said she's nuts too. PTSD. Now, Joel Gold, you're being real smart over there because when I was done with running around with them crazies, I was always looking in the rearview mirror. I always thought I was, for a long time, I always thought somebody was following me. I don't think you're nuts at all, and also think the messages are real easy to grasp and understand. Thank you, everybody. I could communicate in terms where we could understand each other and stuff. I need your this is a two-way street. This is a two-way street. We need love and compassion. Rise up. Because I live here by myself. I junked my car. I don't get out that much. I don't have a lot of social interaction now. As you could tell, probably, I was a very sociable guy, like to have fun, like to rock and roll and have fun. And who am I going to see and go do this, go do that? Now, screech. I'm 61. I made some bad decisions to put me where I am now. And I hang out with you guys. The New York Jets is back. You guys have to get Joe's book. Amazing. That was a paid advertising. No, thank you, the New York Jets. You read it? Of course, obviously you read it. If you're lucky, you get Mr. Oh, okay. Ivan Laura, the New York Jets. If I had the means, I would give it to everybody for free, just for the message. David Monk, you're in Cheektowaga? Well, you're gonna have to come here and pick me up because I had just junked my car. Corfu, you know where Corfu is? Now, you ain't no wise guy trying to track me down or anything. You got me scared over here. You're a little too close for me, Mr. Monk. Starting to scare me here. Just PTSD is coming back. You got my name. You know my name on Facebook. But please forgive me. I just junked my car. That's a whole different story. I ain't going to be having transportation anytime soon. I was actually trying to look for a bike. I'm actually in the market for a bike. But God is good every day. So that's all right. It's a great price. Yeah, well, I know that, Dave. I know that. Hey, you want to hang out and have a cup of coffee? I don't have a lot of friends, man. I kind of just things happen like that. Things happen. I'm in the bike market now. I got ripped off by two 80-year-old married couple. My car didn't last a year. I saved up for 2 years to buy this car, and this 80-year-old couple that I'll call Bonnie and Clyde ripped me off. Sometimes you get the dog, and sometimes the dog gets you. Well, they got me. God bless them. I should have been smarter. Yeah. 2,000 subscribers. Well, that's 800 away. Thank you, Ivan Lore. Like Mike Francis with all the millions. Why don't he have a party for his subscribers? Just be a natural dude. Be a natural dude. To have a party for your first 500 subscribers. Why wouldn't you want to have fun with your subscribers and your community? Why wouldn't you want to do that? He doesn't think like that. If I had the money, I would fly everybody in and have a party. I might even have a drink or two. God forgive me. They don't think like that. Have fun, meet people, enjoy, see who the people are that are in the community. They don't think like that. They're just money hungry, grubbing, whatever the hell they are. Yeah. He'd charge admission. Yeah, forgive me. Mike would charge admission to have a community banquet. Yeah, 100 a head. The New York Jets. Joe, remember when we were clawing your way to 100 subscribers? Yeah. Mountain bike. I've been trying to price some bikes, Facebook Marketplace. Because Six Flags is only 3 miles from here, so I could ride a bike to Six Flags and kill time there. You know, yeah, 100 subscribers. The New York Jets. You kept me going. The New York Jets. 20,000 subs. You gotta set those goals, folks, and we're gonna keep hammering away. We're gonna keep hammering away. You know, there's nothing too high. You can never set the bar too high. Okay. Yeah, the New York Jets 15, I was getting views like 12. You know, I'm telling some crazy mob story that should be a Hollywood movie, and it's 12 views. Well, you guys said keep going, keep going. You know, you mountain bike every day. That's cool. Yeah. Mm. I walked back. I told you guys I walked home from that Darien Lake concert 3 miles afterwards, and that was good. Yeah, I was running 10 mile a day. Then I fell off, gained 40 pounds, finding my way back. Wow. Yeah, I used to work. Well, I was a distance runner. I was a high school distance runner. I walked in at 1,000 subs. I shared. I'm like, oh, thank you, Bonnie Official Edit. Thank you. I should pay you $10 if I had it. I should pay you 10. Yep. My nephew's got a helmet, but I got to get a bike, you know. But just to at least to ride to Darien Lake, because that ain't nothing. 3 miles on the bike, you know. So, but I used to be an athlete. I used to do the mile race, the 2 mile race, high jump, pole vault, which didn't work out too good. Pole vault, you need extreme upper body strength. Pole vault, so that didn't work out. But I was an athlete. Now, boom, boom, boom. See, I was running around. It made me crazy and nervous and smoking and PTSD because I thought them guys were following me. And then, you know, my godfather said, I can't protect you everywhere you are. That is, you should have never, you know, whatever. Yeah. So then it all dissipated. But it ain't no good because there could always be that one person in the lurking that you know, but I was an errand boy, so they weren't going to waste a bullet on me. They could have, but they didn't. You know, I wasn't even worth the bullet. Jeez, I ain't even. Can I be worth? Oh, well. Yeah. So what else we got, folks? 2 hours and 22 minutes and 22 seconds. The power of twos. So I appreciate everybody that come in here. Bonnie Official Edit, thank you. Scott K, David Monk, what else? Big Yin, Joel Gold, Ivan Lore, Francis, David Monk, the New York Jets 15. Thank you. I like the people that come in here, the people that don't comment. I love you all that don't comment. We could have a little fun, tell some stories, rock and roll, talk about different things. It's a talk show. See, you know what? It's official. I got this microphone because this is a talk show. All right. It's not plugged in, but it just feels proper. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't want to break the Jesus picture. Forgive me. Who else we had in here? Bonnie Official Edit. She's an editor. You seem like a writer. That's the name of a writer. That's like literature there. You're in the literature. Vegas Pete, he comes in here. Elias Barnes, thank you. Big Yin, thank you for that fin. Thank you. Francis F. All right. Michael Candinas, I know you were in here somewhere. God bless you and your family. Michael Giovanni, thank you for coming in here and adding some groove to the show. Thank you. Sir Drums, my man. Thank you, Sir Drums. Giovanni, Pete, thank you, folks, for adding some flavor to this show. I need all the flavor I can get, folks. So there you have it. We're rising up. Even Mario M said, "You're making a fool of yourself." Thank you, Mario M. He's from the Doughboy camp, but that's all right. God bless him. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, Danny. Hey, Danny's here. Danielle, my brother. You are Philly Bob. You always Philly Bob. You hit and run. Good old Philly Bob. He's from that Philly crew. You can't fool me. I figured David BMX. I figured all you guys out. Michael Condinas. God bless you and your family. All right, folks. I feel good about this. Met some new people. See some new friends. Good for the soul. Yeah. All right. Whew. I don't know how to do the star. I gotta give you a. How do I give you a star, Big Ian? I want a star. I joined the Truth Serum. Big. Thank you, Sir Drums. Bonnie official edit. I'm sweating. I'm the hardest working YouTuber out there. I've done 500 videos in 2 years. I didn't start begging till after 400 videos, so give me a little credit. All right. So there you have it. We talked about Gene Borrello, Doughboy, Mike, religion, psychology. All right. Thank you, folks, for helping me out. We're gonna end it there. Yeah, I'm out in the country. I like it when the train goes by at night. We should have a big get together. Yep. Someday. So be the kings and queens of your world. Don't give up. It's spiritual warfare out there. We can rise up. Okay. So the world is a vampire. It wants blood. Be aware. You can get through things and fight back. All right. Thank you, the good people in here. Raise up your mind, your body, your spirit, your thinking. Believe in yourself, and you can get there. Okay. The devil doesn't take any days off. The devil works overtime. So we got to fight in our thinking and our mind and our, which is hard. It's hard. You got to start somewhere. So thank you, Bonnie and Dave and everybody and Ivan and Joel and the Candinas crew and Big Yin and Sir Barnes. Man, Sir Barnes, thank you. You always help me, man. Thank you, and let the world and the universe bless you, and be the kings and queens of your world. We were born to do that. Let's get back on track. All right, folks, have a wonderful night. Have a safe summer. God bless y'all.